What's up, Bombshells? Welcome to Bombshell 1111 Podcast, Therapy for Women of Color. My name is Kia, and I'm your host. Generally, podcasts request donations, but I want you to show love by simply subscribing to my social media platforms by visiting my website at www.bombshell1111podcast.com. I want to see thousands of subscribers on this platform. Leave your comments and I'll show love by shouting you out on my social media platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank you for your continued support as always. And with that being said, let's jump into this new episode.
Hey everybody, my name is Kellina Powell. I'm here to drop some bombs here with Bombshell 1111.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bombshell 1111 Podcast, where we bring the boom to your mental health and personal development journey. Tune in tonight, you guys, as we dive into a powerful conversation and tips to help you level up in your life. Tonight, you guys will be discussing advocating for change, insights from a deaf advocate. So without further ado, let's get right into it, Bombshells. Welcome, Kellina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you so much for coming on and being a part of the podcast. I'm excited to have you on because I know you're going to share some interesting and some beneficial knowledge with us tonight. So thank you for coming on.
No problem.
So down below in the description box, I will have your bio, but I always like the audience to hear from the guests verbally, just a short description about who you are, where you're from, and what you do. So can you give us just a short description before we jump into the podcast episode for tonight about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, definitely. I am a life coach, international speaker. I'm an author. I'm a CEO. And what I do is basically I teach people how to be more inclusive for the deaf community. And as well, some of you are probably listening, wondering, wait. Yeah, so I'm actually a hard of hearing person. I actually became deaf at the age of 4. And this is where lead me to my success, where I teach people and give people hope. And that's what I do.
I think that's so awesome. That is so awesome. I used to try to learn sign language. I could only learn so many things, but I tried because I had a friend in college that was deaf, and so he tried to teach me as much as possible. He bared with me as I was so ignorant to the language, but yeah. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. What are some of the primary goals of your advocacy work?
So what the work I do, I work with organizations and schools. And so what I do is I provide workshops or I do a course for the audience. So basically what I do is I break down about how to be inclusive for a deaf individual. And second, I teach a course about mental health as well, coming along with the disability, especially for the deaf community.
What has been like some of the biggest challenges in your advocacy efforts?
I feel like it's the consistent of someone being able to be consistent and learn how to accommodate someone. I feel like people understand how to accommodate, but they don't know how to be consistent. And some people may ask, a very uncomfortable question, and some people don't like to ask because they feel uncomfortable. So I always advise everybody, if you have a question, always ask, even though it may sound stupid, right? Some people think, this question's stupid, I don't want to ask. And I'm like, it's okay to ask because you would never know unless you ask.
Like I was earlier before our podcast, because I had to know. And I'm like, educate me because I don't want to be ignorant. So I think that's awesome. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Yeah. Can you discuss a particular success story or achievement in your advocacy work?
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God, there's so many successful stories. I had a client who I did teach how to be more accepting of themselves, especially as a deaf person. And it was so, like, it was just awe because I was able to see how I can help and make an impact on another person, especially seeing my client witness peace and being hopeful in herself because she didn't have any role model that looked like her except for me. And she learned and she realized, like, wow, if Kellina can do it, I can do it. And seeing that client succeed in her challenges, it was definitely an honor for me because this was my mission, my passion, was to do that. And then secondly, the great work I've done was actually my book. I became best-selling author twice on Amazon, which was amazing. I really didn't expect to be best-selling author twice. So in my book, for some of you may not know, my book is a poetry book. It's really a short book, and it's about me being deaf daily basic and just really educating people what it's like to be deaf. How did I overcome my struggles? What did I use to overcome my struggles? How did I accommodate myself? So that's my success.
Oh wow! Congratulations on that. Congratulations, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors and in more books to come.
Thank
Um,
you.
and speaking of resources or tools or tips, what role do you feel as if just in your expertise does technology play in advancing accessibility for deaf individuals?
So there's a lot with technology, even though they're slowly improving. For example, during COVID, the Zoom didn't have closed caption, and it was very hard for me to really do a lot of networking events virtually. And that's when I realized that I'm like, oh my God, there's very lack of accessibility, especially on technology. It's very important that now, because right after COVID, I had to be acceptable. And it sucks because during 2024, why is it taking forever for a lot of things to be acceptable? For example, iPhone. iPhone just came out with the closed caption on FaceTime. And so it's very unfortunate, but I would say the best way with technology is it's able to connect with people globally, network with different people around the world, and also meet someone like yourself globally. That's the good thing about social media.
Hmm. How do you support deaf individuals in the workplace or in the educational settings? Like, what specifically do you do?
So what I do is basically teach people again how to be inclusive, but breaking it down, I show people what are the best tools to teach someone who's hard of hearing or has a disability. So for example, instead of using Zoom, because Zoom is not always active when it comes to the caption, unlike Google Meet. Google Meet pick up the word very a lot faster than Zoom calls. Even Microsoft Teams, they kind of do, but there's not that much caption, unfortunately. And that's why I teach them what are tools that we can use better. And also providing resources in terms of where can we get support to help another person. So that's basically what I do, is just have that breakdown.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. What message would you like to send to our listeners about supporting the deaf community?
Sorry, repeat that again.
What message would you like to send to our listeners about supporting the deaf community?
I would say don't be afraid to ask dumb questions. Like, don't ever be afraid. The reason why I said that is because we will appreciate that you even asking because it shows us that you actually care and you want to be acceptable for us. So don't ever think that if you ask someone, you're going to take it in a wrong way. Instead, just say, I have a question, educate me. Try to switch your words a little bit. I always tell people, before you say, like, oh, I have a dumb question, don't say that. Just be like, hey, can you please educate me on this topic? I really don't know, but I would like for you to tell me. And then we will be happily to tell you everything that you need to know. And second, do not assume that every person that you meet who are deaf or hard of hearing or the deaf community knows ASL or sign language. So a lot of people don't know that not every hard of hearing person you meet knows ASL, which is sign language. And I remember one time I met a girl and she thought I knew sign. I said, no, I don't know how to sign, but I know very little because, my family, my family and the community I was in, it was all hearing. And I didn't really learn to pick up my ASL, unfortunately, until I went to the deaf school full time. I'm sorry, part time. So yeah, so that's definitely something I want the listener to know, is that not every person you meet knows ASL or sign language.
Good point. Thank you for that. That's a great point to make. So let's talk a bit about your book. Tell us a little bit about your book and how your book is beneficial for the deaf community.
Yeah, so my book is called Every Day I Am Just Deaf. You can find it on Amazon. It's a poetry book. It's really about me breaking down from the age of 4, when I first became deaf, all the way until I was 22 years old. I finished writing my book when I was 22. And it basically breaks down, what did I do with myself? How did I overcome my mental health? How did I overcome my challenge? How did I advocate for myself? What the resources I use? And how much I am grateful for my hearing loss, because if it wasn't for me being deaf now, I would not have this motivation as I do now. And I feel like my life would be completely different if I were to become deaf. So that's really what my book is really about, just to really educate people what it's like to be deaf. What can we do, especially the hearing person who's trying to educate themselves about the deaf community? They can just take that reading and they understand, like, wow, Kellina been through this, and this is something I should learn. You can learn from that. So that's really what my book is about.
Thank you for that. That's awesome. Thank you for that. And it's so awesome that you're providing resources for that particular population and community. And I hope that you continue to do more within advocacy for that community. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Kellina, is there anything that you think that I missed that you'd like to share with the listening audience before we head out for tonight?
My last thing I do wanted to let every listener to know is, it doesn't matter if you face a disability, mental health, or anything that comes in the way. I do not want you to impact you, because I'm going to tell you something. If God comes to your dream tonight and He said you have this amount of life to live, you're going to live life, right? And so I want you to understand, no matter hard things are in life or hardship that you face, it doesn't mean that you cannot become successful. Look at me, like, I'm hard of hearing. A lot of people like, how do you do that, Kellina? Like, people just shocked, and I said, I just fight every day, right? Even though I can't hear, but it doesn't mean that I can't become successful. You can become successful. It may take some time, but like I tell everybody, like, live your life to the fullest. You never know what tomorrow comes. Life is too short.
And it just means also never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Kellina, how can a listening audience get connected to you for your book, or just for more information, or just to follow you for any upcoming events or things that you may have coming up?
Yeah, everybody can follow me on LinkedIn, which is Kellina Powell, or everybody can go through my website, Kellina Empowerment Inc. KellinaEmpowerment.com.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Kellina, for coming on and being a part of the podcast tonight. I very much appreciate it. Again, thank you.
No problem.
So, you guys, thanks for tuning in with Bombshell 1111 Podcast. We hope tonight's episode sparked some inspiration and set you on a path towards growth. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us bring you more of this content that you love. And with that being said, always remember, you are a bomb within your own shell. Peace, love, and light, you guys. Until next time, good night. That's it. If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure you subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate, review, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're leaving with some valuable information that can help you on your personal journey. Also, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Bombshell 1111 or at Bombshell 1111 TV. You can also check out our mental health page, Your Health is Your Wealth, on Facebook, which is a page created to inform and support individuals with mental health and other health conditions. And with that being said, always remember, you guys, you are a bomb within your own shell. And until next time, peace, love, and light.